unless we get serious and say we are not willing to pay welfare. If people want to come to this country and contribute and speak English and not commit crime, those people are going to continue to be welcomed, Ed. But the reality is it is totally unfair to expect British taxpayers to fund a food bank for the world, to spend tens and ultimately hundreds of billions of pounds on welfare for foreign nationals, and then to call them racist when they raise concerns about that.
Record high bills, is it really racist to insist that migrants speak English, contribute through taxes, and abide by the law? This isn't about prejudice. It's about fairness, responsibility, and the rule of law principles every functional society relies upon.
The British taxpayer, the alternative is we leave the system as it is. We ask the people watching this program to continue to pay more taxes. We're about to have a Rachel Reeves budget that hikes up taxes once again. The quality of life for British people continues to decline. It is totally unacceptable for them to have to fund a food bank for the world and for foreign nationals to continue to draw hundreds of billions of pounds from the welfare state over the coming decades. The problem is,
every time I say to you, somebody from you...
What you're about to witness is far more than a standard interview. It's the moment Zia Yusuf methodically dismantles a prevailing toxic narrative and redirects the accusations squarely at the Prime Minister.
We are talking about the 3.8 million non-EU migrants who came here under Boris Johnson, who are going to be hundreds of billions of pounds worth of a drain on the British taxpayer's purse. We can ill afford it, and it's totally unfair on the people watching this programme for them to go to work to pay for that.
A turning point in Britain's ongoing cultural debate over immigration. And before we break down the clip, take a stand against censorship, like, subscribe, and share this video to ensure the truth reaches further than the filtered narratives of the mainstream media.
Good morning.
Your policies are racist and immoral, says the Prime Minister.
Well, given this Prime Minister is literally the least popular, the most unpopular Prime Minister on record, according to polls this week. Look, the reality is that the British people are sick and tired of having their legitimate concerns about immigration being sneered at, being belittled, and ultimately being insulted for raising those legitimate concerns. What Reform have announced is that migrants must pay their way, speak English, and not commit crime. And the fact that Keir Starmer considers that policy and those very reasonable people, the majority, frankly, of the people in this country who agree with that policy as racist, says everything about the fact that this is a Prime Minister circling the drain, who is speaking to the activists in his own party. And that is why Reform is on course to win the next general election.
Clarkson didn't just criticize Starmer's policies. He exposed a deeper truth. This isn't about numbers or tax brackets. It's about a government that's forgotten what real Britain looks like. It's about leaders who talk about sustainability from their city offices while farmers fight to survive. It's about the growing gap between Westminster's promises and the countryside's reality. Clarkson said what millions were thinking, that the people in charge don't get it, don't care, and don't even know how to fake it convincingly anymore. And here's where things get even more explosive. The backlash didn't end in the fields. From Doncaster to Dover, thousands of ordinary Brits, not activists, not career protesters, took to the streets in what's now being called the Great British National Strike. The message was simple but thunderous. Enough is enough. Enough of the taxes, enough of the migration chaos, enough of the political elite treating Britain like their personal chessboard. The media tried to downplay it, but social media lit up with videos, chants, and banners. Britain is stirring, and it's not buying the Labour script anymore. Starmer wanted to be the calm alternative to chaos. But what happens when calm turns into cold? When composure turns into detachment? When your own people feel like you've ghosted them? Jeremy Clarkson's jab wasn't just about pubs or farms. It was about authenticity. When even your critics start to sound more real than you do, it's not just a PR problem. It's an identity crisis. So where does this leave Britain now? A Prime Minister banned from the pub, booed by the fields, and mocked by the man who once yelled at a Vauxhall Astra for being boring. Politics has rarely been this surreal, or this raw. But one thing's clear, the tide is turning. People are tired of speeches. They want grit, truth, and leadership that doesn't flinch when challenged. And if Jeremy Clarkson can articulate that better than the Prime Minister himself, then maybe the real revolution won't come from Parliament, but from the pub. 09. But here's where the interview took a turn from heated to historic. Yusuf didn't just defend reform's policies, he reframed them. He emphasized that insisting migrants speak English, work, contribute, and follow the law is not only reasonable, it's exactly what the majority of ordinary Britons already believe. Not just reform voters, not just conservatives, across the board. Suddenly, the Prime Minister's accusation looked less like moral outrage and more like political panic. And while the government talks about compassion, the economic reality is brutal. The UK is gearing up for a Rachel Reeves budget widely expected to hammer taxpayers yet again. Bills are going up, taxes are going up, living standards are going down. Meanwhile, as Yusuf put it, Britain is being asked to fund a food bank for the world. Whether you agree or disagree with that phrasing, the frustration behind it is real, and millions of people feel it, even if they're afraid to say it out loud. That's why this moment matters. It's not just an interview, it's a pressure valve releasing. It's the point where one man said what countless Brits whisper privately but never dare express publicly. And in doing so, he exposed something deeper, a government that weaponizes moral outrage to silence economic truth. A government that prefers labels over listening. A government that would rather call its own citizens racist than admit its immigration system is broken. Stay tuned to this channel, because the conversation is shifting fast, and moments like this are shaping the next chapter of Britain's political future. This debate isn't going away. In fact, it's only just getting started.